Hey everybody, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make what I'm calling the the crochet square mesh. And I used this, it looks like it has characters, so it's like from China or Japan, I don't know, whoever makes the yarn, but I don't even remember how I got it. I think somebody just gave it to me in the family. But it's a thin yarn, and I used it. You can use any ply yarn, but I used it just because I wanted to make a pretty big piece to really give you an idea of what this looks like. And it kind of curls, like rounds off, I should say, at the top because of how the stitch is done. And I was messing around with the yarn and figured the stitch out when I was trying to find a stitch that I could use for my daughter's bathing suit cover. And when I showed her this, she wasn't interested, so I kept back to the drawing board and I set this to the side, and I thought, well, it's so cool, I want to go ahead and teach it to you guys. So to do this stitch, you can do it in any size yarn, like I said, and the multiples of this stitch is 8, so just straight up 8. So just crochet in multiples of 8 until you get your desired width that you want. And then I will show you how to do this stitch. So when you got your chain of multiples of 8 and it's the width you want and you're ready to get started, for row 1, you'll want to put a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, and in this 4th chain, go ahead and yarn over, insert your hook in that 4th chain, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet. Then you'll want to do a single crochet worked in the next 2 chains. So I'll put 1 single crochet in the next chain, and then 1 single crochet in the chain after that. And then you'll want to put 2 double crochets worked in the next 2 chains. So go ahead and yarn over, and in the next chain you'll put a double crochet, and then in the next chain after that you'll put another double crochet. And then you'll chain 2, and this will be the beginning of the repeat. So you'll chain 2, you'll skip 2. So in the 3rd one over, so count 1, 2, 3, this 3rd one over, you're going to put a double crochet. And then again in the next stitch you'll put another double crochet. You're going to be working in sets of 2, so there'll always be like 2 double crochets or 2 single crochets. So after that you'll have 2 single crochets, so in the next stitch put a single crochet, and then in the next stitch after that put a single crochet. And then you'll go back to double crochets, so you'll put a double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the stitch after that. And then you'll repeat that. So again, at the beginning of the repeat, you'll chain 2 and skip 2. So in the 3rd chain over, you'll put a double crochet, and then in the next stitch you'll put a double crochet. And then the next 2 stitches will be single crochet. Then you should have, you should end your row perfectly having 2 double crochets in the very last 2 stitches. So however long it is for you, you should still have 2 double crochets at the end. And this is what row 1 looks like. So for row 2, and I believe, yes, you'll always chain 2 at the end of a row. So chain 2 and turn. And you want to double crochet in the 2nd stitch of the row. The chain 2 will count as your first double crochet of the row. So yarn over and double crochet in that 2nd double crochet of the row. And then you will skip 2 stitches, so you're going to skip these 2 middle single crochets, So you'll chain 2, skip those 2 single crochets, and in the double crochet you'll put a double crochet. And then in this chain 2 space here, you'll put 2 single crochets worked on that chain 2 space. And then on the next 2 double crochets, you will put a double crochet. So double crochet in the first double crochet and double crochet in the second double crochet. And then that will be our repeat. So again, you'll chain 2, which will bridge over our single crochets, and you're going to work a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. So work 1 double crochet in the first double crochet and a double crochet in the second, which will bring you back up to the chain 2 space, and in that space you will put 2 single crochets. And then in the next stitch, next 2 double crochets, you'll put 1 double crochet. And then that will end our next set. You will always have 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 double crochets, and a chain 2 before it and a chain 2 after, all the way until you get to the very last end of your row here, which should be a single crochet, 2 single crochets, 2 double crochets. And you'll skip those 2 single crochets and double crochet in your 2 ending double crochets, which in this case it's the top of the chain. Here we go. And that ends row 2. So like always, you'll always chain 2 at the end of your row and turn, and you'll always have double crochet here worked in these first 2 stitches. The chain 2 will always count as your first double crochet, and then you'll do a double crochet in the second. So it'll always begin like this as well. So now you have a chain 2 space here, and you're going to do just like you did last row with your chain 2 spaces, and you're going to work 2 single crochets in that space. And then you're going to put a double crochet worked in the next 2 double crochets. Sorry for that crazy noise outside. Then after that, you'll begin your repeat again, which is chaining 2, skipping over your single crochets, and working a double crochet in your 1 double crochet in these next 2 double crochets. Again, we come up to a chain again, so you'll want to put a 2 single crochets worked on that chain 2 space, and then you'll want to put a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, and that ends our sets. We have 2 double crochets, 2 single crochets, 2 double crochets. So again, we'll need to chain 2 and start our set again. So chain 2, skip your 2 single crochets, and double crochet in these next 2 double crochets. Single crochet twice in your chain 2 space, and that brings you here to the end, which will always be 2 double crochets. So the beginning and the end will always be the same. You'll always end with double crochets, and you'll always chain 2 and turn. It's very, very simple. And for your rows on, you'll always be working your single crochets on your chain 2 space, and you'll always chain, and the chain 2 will always be skipping over the 2 single crochets from the previous row. So it's a pretty simple stitch, and I hope you can find something that you can make with this. So I'm thinking maybe I should go one more time through it. So again, you want to chain 2, turn, chain 2 counts as a stitch, so you'll put double crochet in the next, and then again you come up to your 2 single crochets, so you will always chain 2 and skip those 2, and then just put a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. which will then bring you up to your chain 2 space that you will always put 2 single crochets in. So I hope now that you can see what I'm talking about, that you can find that pattern. It's super easy. You can do it while you watch your favorite show or movie. So I hope that you'll give it a try. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video. Also, I'm on Pinterest. I have a Pinterest board there that's only free crochet patterns posted there by the designers themselves. And I share on my Facebook page. I don't know when you're watching this video, but I'm doing something new on my Facebook business page where I share themed posts every day. So every day I'll share something that is all related in one way or another. So if you're looking for something specific and you see that I'm sharing, you know, like fingerless gloves or something, and you've been looking for fingerless gloves, then maybe go and check out all the posts that I have for that day. Most of the time, I try to find the free pattern, but if there's a better version that may be paid, then I may share that link as well. Also, I have a newsletter where I share the best post, the best liked posts that I do share on Facebook, and also what's new coming out for me, and if I have any news and roundups and things like that. So don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. I try to at least get 1 or 2 out a week. And that's it. Thank you so very much for watching.